Question number 176. Production of which hormone is affected by artificial light, extended work time and reduced sleep time? And the options given are inulin, melatonin, oxytocin, insulin. The correct answer to this question is option number 2, melatonin. Melatonin regulates the 24 hours diurnal rhythm of the body. It maintains diurnal rhythm of body. It helps in maintaining the normal rhythms of sleep-wake cycle and body temperature. Let's discuss the rest of the options. The very first option is inulin, and this is an incorrect option. Inulin is polymer of fructose. The next option is oxytocin, and this is an incorrect option. Oxytocin, which is also known as milk letdown hormone, is responsible for milk ejection and it is released during parturition during fetal ejection reflex. And the last option is insulin, and this is an incorrect option. Insulin is a peptide hormone which is responsible for maintaining the glucose level in blood. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 177. Steroid hormone influences the cellular activities by, and the options given are using aquaporin channels as second messengers. Second option is activating cycling AMP located on the cell membrane. Third option is binding to DNA and forming a receptor hormone complex. And the last option is changing the permeability of the cell membrane. Steroid hormones directly enter into the cell and bind with intracellular receptors. To form hormone receptor complex which interacts with the genetic material. So these steroid hormones, they influence the cellular activities by binding to DNA, that is the genetic material of the cell, and forming a receptor hormone complex. So the correct answer is option number 3. Let's discuss the rest of the options. The very first option is using aquaporin channels as second messengers. This is an incorrect option. Proteinaceous hormones require second messengers, whereas steroid hormones, they require intracellular receptors. The next option is activating cyclic AMP located on the cell membrane. This is also incorrect option. Cyclic AMPs are second messengers and steroid hormones do not require second messenger to carry out their activity. The last option is changing the permeability of the cell membrane, and this is also an incorrect option. So the correct answer to this question is option number 3. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 178. Choose the incorrect match with respect to hormone and respective disease. The very first match given is growth hormone and the match given is diabetes insipidus, and as it is an incorrect match, this is a correct answer to our question. Because hypersecretion of growth hormone in adults leads to acromegaly, whereas hyposecretion of growth hormone in adults leads to acromicria and not diabetes insipidus. Diabetes insipidus, on the other hand, is caused because of the deficiency of ADH or antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin. The next match given is insulin and the match given is diabetes mellitus, and as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question because hyposecretion of insulin leads to diabetes mellitus. The next match given is thyroxine and the match is goiter, and as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question because hyper or hyposecretion of thyroxine can be associated with enlargement of thyroid gland called goiter. The last match is corticoids, and the match given is Addison's disease. And as it is a correct match, this cannot be a correct answer to our question, because deficiency of corticoids, glucocorticoid and mineralocorticoid, leads to Addison disease. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's proceed to the next question. Question number 179. If in a child thymosin hormone is not released, what will happen first? The options are cell-mediated immunity will be lost. Second option, innate immunity will be lost. Third option, stem cell production will be reduced. And the last option is amount of hemoglobin will be reduced. Thymosin hormone is called the throne of immunity, or training school of T lymphocytes. T lymphocytes, which are responsible for cell-mediated immunity. They provide cell-mediated immunity. So if thymosin hormone is not released, then what will happen first? Cell-mediated immunity will be lost. So the correct answer to this question is option number 1, because thymus gland which produces thymosin, which is known as the throne of immunity or training school of T lymphocyte, provide cell-mediated immunity. The next option is innate immunity will be lost, and this is an incorrect option, because T cells provide cell-mediated immunity and not innate immunity, which is an inbuilt immunity. The next option is stem cell production will be reduced, and this is an incorrect option. The last option is amount of hemoglobin will be reduced, is also an incorrect option. And the correct answer to this question is option number 1. Let's move on to the next question. Question number 180. Glycogenolysis, increased oxygen consumption, and piloerection is caused by, and the options given are somatostatin, adrenaline, renin, insulin. Adrenaline, also known as epinephrine or emergency hormone, is secreted by adrenal medulla. Adrenal medulla. And this hormone stimulates elevation of blood glucose by converting glycogen to glucose, which is glycogenolysis, along with increase in oxygen consumption and piloerection. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2, adrenaline or epinephrine, emergency hormone, or catecholamine. This is a correct answer. Let's discuss rest of the options. The next option is somatostatin, and this is an incorrect option. Somatostatin is an hypothalamic hormone, also known as GHIH, that is growth hormone inhibitory hormone. The next option is a renin, and this is a gastric enzyme and is an incorrect option. The last option is insulin, and this is also an incorrect option, because insulin, which is a peptide hormone, is responsible for maintaining the homeostasis of glucose in blood. So the correct answer to this question is option number 2. So with this question, I would like to end up the discussion of this AIATS paper. I hope all your doubts and queries have been solved regarding this paper. Thank you very much for watching, and all the best.